Hey, what's up? So I wanted to put together a example project on Ableton Live for you guys to jump into and have more of a practical learning experience. So we're going to walk through this little project. It's nothing major, just a couple of different sounds, a couple of different instruments, but it's designed for the bass project file, which is the group of presets that your Sway will automatically have on it. And you will also be provided a bass project file where you can upload back to your Sway in the case of wanting to return to the factory settings. So yeah, let's walk through that. I'm going to use the software to visually represent what is going on in the playable area so it's a little bit easier to understand. But let's get into it. You can see that I have my example project here open in Ableton, and I also have my software open. If your software isn't displaying what you see here, what I'm going to get you to do is just open project. I want you to load the bass project back in, and that should sort you out, and it should look exactly like mine. So first things first, let's start with preset number 1. So if you click preset number 1, you will notice that you get these colors. Now these colors, what they represent is each column here. So you can see that preset 1 is a 4x3 note grid. We have 4 across the bottom and we are 3 high. We have 4 different colors representing each column. And then as we move up through that grid, we also have 3 notes upwards. Now you can see the notes that populate this note grid here, or you can also look at your display screen as you move through different regions. Cool. So we have 3 sounds here that are designed for our note grid. So to move throughout those, what I'm going to get you to do is click this bottom left button on the right batch of black buttons. Okay, so we click that, and what should happen is these bottom LEDs should change color. Now, if your LEDs do not look like mine when in Ableton Live, it means that your MIDI remote script has not been installed correctly. So can you please refer back to that video, follow those instructions, get that set up, and then meet me back here. If you have any problems, please reach out to one of us in the Discord and we will help you out. Okay, cool. I'm going to get you to move to track 4 at this point. You can see the confirmation. In Ableton, we actually have moved that arm button to 4, and I want you to just place your hand into one of the regions. Cool, we have notes. Now, let's get the track started. So I want you to click Master Launch, which is the top left of these right-hand black buttons, and you'll hear some sound kick in. Now I want you to move over to preset 2 and place your hand into the area and just move it around. So what do we have there? This is preset 2. This is our biggest X and Y modulation zone. And if we refer to the Sway software, preset 2 looks exactly like this. Here we have our colors and our CC messages here. So on the horizontal or the X-axis, we have CC50. Refer to the display, should match up. And on the vertical, we have CC38 or the Y, CC38. Awesome. Now moving back to our project, let's have a look at what we have mapped here. So on the X, we have this filter on a percussion loop, and on the Y, in track 3, we have a filter on a bass. Cool, a lot of fun that one is. So let's move on now to preset 3. Now in preset 3, we have a mixture of a note grid and a modulation column. Now this column displays a CC30, which can be mapped to anything. Here, if you have a look, we can move to track 5. We can also arm track 5, so we're playing that instrument there. Place your hand into the grid side. Now as we move our hand up and down throughout the modulation column here, you'll notice that what we are controlling is this little velocity knob down here. So we can give that a play. Please experiment with that one, and we can move on to our last sound here, which is track 6. Now we will stay on the same preset for this one, but we're playing around with a different effect. So moving your hand up and down the modulation column, you can see that we are controlling the rate of this auto pan. And what does that sound like? Alright, please have some fun. Move throughout those example instruments by clicking the arm buttons. And one more thing that I almost forgot, we can navigate throughout the session with these buttons here. So moving downwards throughout that session, we can move downwards once, which is just this bottom right hand button on the left bunch. And we can select the master launch button here, and you'll hear that another drum loop has triggered. Now for the last thing, we'll move it to preset 4. Now preset 4 is 4 modulation columns. Let's give that a listen. And what happens when we hit this modulation column on the far right? All right, have some fun.